Good evening. Good evening, everybody. I'm Lakshmi Priya. I'm hereby taking the topic policies and programs of Government of India for weaker sections of the society. So the team members are me, myself, Lakshmi Priya, and Krishna Priya. So hereby I'm taking the introductory part and also the constitutional provisions, acts propounded by Government of India, and also the National Commission for SC/ST Welfare, etc. So first, let me start with the introductory part. What are weaker sections of the society? So the Government of India Act defines, 1935 defines weaker sections as class or classes of people who are suffering from educational and economic backwardness, as well as some aspects of social life due to traditional customs of untouchability, tribal background, like tribal way of life or other backwardness. So weaker sections in a society are a type of class or classes of people who are marginalized or somewhat who have educational or economic backwardness in some aspects of social life due to some traditional customs. And also here, like, there are many weaker sections of society, like women, aged persons, disabled, sexual minorities, etc. They are all comes under the deprived classes, and they all are ill treated. But here we are taking the three main categories of weaker sections, that is scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes. So first we can take a look into the constitutional provisions for weaker sections. Our Indian Constitution provided some provisions for the weaker sections of the society. First one is Article 15(4). It refers to the special provisions for the advancement of weaker sections. And second one is Article 16(4)(a). It speaks for reservation in matters of promotion of any class or caste or state services in favor of SCs or STs. And Article 17 abolishes untouchability. And Article 46, it promotes special care to the educational and economic interest of the weaker sections of people. And Article 335, it provides that the members of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes shall be taken into consideration in maintenance of efficiency of administration, in the making of appointments to services, posts, etc. in connections with the state or union government. And then Article 330 and Article 332 of the Constitution, it talks about the reservation of seats in favor of SC/STs in assemblies of the state, and also under part 9, relating to the panchayats, and also part 9(a) of the Constitution, it relating to the municipalities, reservation for SC/ST in local bodies, etc. has been envisaged and provided. So the major acts related to the SC/ST welfare are, like, first one is Forest Rights Act. FRA is an act enacted in the year 2006. It recognizes the rights of forest dwelling tribal communities and other traditional forest dwellers to the forest resources because they are dependent for a variety of needs, including livelihood, habitation, and other socio-cultural needs. It considers that they have some forest rights and they can do the occupation in forest land, in forest dwelling scheduled tribes and other traditional forest dwellers who have been residing in such forest for generations. So this act strengthens the conservation regime of the forest while ensuring livelihood and food security. And here the Gram Sabha is the authority to initiate the process. The second right is Protection of Civil Rights Act. It is in 1955. It is a federal law. As per this law, Indian government cannot execute any law that violates anyone's rights. It means the right acquiring an individual because of the abolition of untouchability by Article 17 of the Constitution of India. The characteristics of this act is that public servants who willfully show negligence in the investigation of any offence will be punishable under this act. And then the next act is SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989, and then an amendment occurs, and that is in 2015. So SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989 can be understood by the name itself. Like, it is an act to prevent atrocities against people belonging to SC/ST. So it introduces special courts and exclusive special courts to run trials of such offences that are made against SC/ST people. So it punishes crimes against people belonging to SC/ST and special protection to them. It gives special protection to them. It protects the rights of to the victims. It set up the court for fast completion of courts. And then the next right is provision of the Panchayat, that is extension to Scheduled Areas Act. It is in 1996. So it can be said as PESA Act 1996. It is propounded for ensuring the tribal self-rule for people living in scheduled areas of India. So the power here is delegated to Gram Sabha, cannot be curtailed by a higher level, and there shall be independence throughout. The PESA is considered to be the backbone of tribal legislation in India. This act recognizes the traditional system of the decision-making process and stands for the people's self-governments. So it can seen as a panacea of for many of the vulnerabilities and sought to introduce a new paradigm of development where the tribal communities in such scheduled areas were to decide by themselves the pace and priorities for their development. And the policies and programs for scheduled caste. There is a National Commission for Scheduled Caste, which is a constitutional body that works to safeguard the interest of the scheduled caste in India. It deals with the scheduled caste and their development. And their major functions can be said like monitoring and investigating all issues concerning to the safeguards of SC people and inquiring into the complaints relating to the deprivation of the rights. They take part in the advisory committees of central and state governments in respective planning to the socio-economic development of the SCs and regular reporting. They recommend steps to develop SC people and etc. So the other government initiatives taken for SC development is in part of educational empowerment. There are some scholarships like pre-metric scholarship, post-metric scholarship, and also scholarships for obtaining higher education and coaching scheme. And in case of economic empowerment, there is some schemes like National Scheduled Caste Finance and Development Corporation and National Safai Karmacharis Finance and Development Corporation, Special Central Assistance to Scheduled Caste Subplan, Credit Enhancement Guarantee Scheme for Scheduled Castes, Venture Capital Fund for Scheduled Castes, etc. So these are the major acts or policies and programs of the government of India, which is developed for the which is proponent for the development of SCs. So the other weaker sections like ST policies and programs for scheduled tribes and for other backward classes should be taken by Krishna Priya. That's it. Thank you.